Okay, we're live. This is the Senate Transportation Committee. It's Friday, February 22nd, I think. Yeah, 23rd. All day today. And we're going to talk about front license plates today. So,
did Sheriff Harlow make it? Oh, there she is.
All right.
Remotely.
Yeah.
So, Lieutenant Robin, you can start us off with the position of the state police.
Great. Good morning. I appreciate the invite down to speak about this. I'm Lieutenant Ravlin with the Vermont State Police. I'm the Executive Officer of Special Operations, and that includes the Traffic Safety Office. The request was to speak about the front license plates, and I pulled a little bit of information that the state police has as far as the front license plate. And calendar year last year, January 1st to December 31st of 2023, we had over 750 traffic stops for display of front plate. Of those 750, over 750, 76 of those or so resulted in traffic tickets. The remainders were warnings. Of those 750 plus traffic stops, over 30 of them resulted in an arrest of stolen vehicles, DUI, possession of heroin, criminal DLS, and the criminal DLS will result from
License suspended.
driver license suspended. So a criminal version of that would be if your license is suspended for a driving under the influence or an excessive speed or some other criminal offense that resulted in a suspension of your license, versus a civil suspension would be a failure to pay a fine and your license is under suspension. So those are the two. The criminal driving with a suspended license is an arrestable offense. So those were also some of the offenses that came from the failure to display the front license plate. I'm aware that neighboring states also require that. I know there's some technology conversations about automatic license plate readers and automatic traffic camera enforcements in some specific zones of the state, and some of that technology requires the use of reading the front plate and the rear plate as it goes by, but it verifies both. It'll take a photo of both and verify that information. I'm aware of the Vermont Strong campaign and having the front plate on the front. With those plates, when they get issued, there's instructions to place the Vermont Strong plate over the Vermont registration plate. So you're not able to remove the front registration plate altogether. You just cover it up with the Vermont Strong plate. And on my way down here this morning, I get on the interstate at exit 11 and I travel southbound. I passed 4 cars heading northbound that had Vermont Strong plates. That included one right here, just on State Street as I was getting just to the State House. So yes, folks are having those year round as they are able to do that, minus the specific campaigns on which they came out, but the number is significantly small compared to the amount of cars that have both front and rear plates. So we're aware that that's out there and they can do that, but that percentage is relatively small.
So in the past, the state police have not been supportive of not having a front license plate. Is that still the position?
There is a significant.
I assume you're leading up to something. So.
Yes, there's a significant investigative value and enforcement value that the Vermont State Police have with the front license plate. With identifying vehicles, sometimes we have a pandemic of vehicles being stolen now. Cars are harder to identify if the front plate's not on there. With some of the challenges of having the temporary registration be a printed piece of paper in the back window, those challenges are increasing with us trying to properly identify a vehicle. So if the vehicle is backed into a lot or backed into a driveway or backed into a carport, it makes it difficult for us to identify if that's the stolen vehicle we're looking for or the be on the lookout vehicle. Several times a day, there are be on the lookouts issued on the interstate for various types of violations. Could be weaving on the roadway, could be excessive speed, could be aggressive driving. Quite frequently, we get those aggressive driving calls up north in and around the congested areas. And when the BOL goes out, the be on the lookout goes out, the license plate is the first thing that's issued. And if a trooper or another law enforcement officer is sitting in a U-turn, the first thing we see is the front license plate, and we can verify that the approaching vehicle is the car we're looking for, versus having to look at the rear of the car. And again, on my way up here this morning, there were several cars that were, due to the season that we're about to go into, mud season, the plate was unreadable due to the mud. So we would lose an investigative value piece.
So how many states don't have front license plates?
I wasn't able to verify that before coming in based on the information that I received. It's approximately 30. So I saw one report that said 29, one report said 31. So it's right around 30
That don't require.
that require a second,
So 10 have gotten rid of the first.
approximately, yes.
All of our neighbors do require it, I think you were telling me beforehand.
30 states,
30 states require it,
and you said 10, I mean,
don't require it.
well, that's 40.
20.
Yeah, that's not including 10 states.
He was leading up to it. They do other things.
Yeah, 3 points.
Oh, last I knew there were 50.
In your 750 figure of front plates being a traffic stop, do your records show that that is the primary reason why you pulled them over? Or were there maybe compounding factors, speeding, stop signs, others wise? And then also, how much is that 750 out of what total population of traffic stops is that relative to?
So last year, the Vermont State Police had approximately 26,000 traffic stops, roughly. I don't have the exact number in front of me.
Got that
Yeah,
number.
we got that.
Out of the 26,000, 750-ish or 750 were the front license plates.
Primary reason.
Primary reason. So I did a sporadic check of the 751. I read close to 60 of these traffic stops, and it was display of front plate, display of front plate. I went into the arrests record of all the vehicles that were an offender wasn't arrested, and of that was the trooper stating he observed the vehicle pass by their location without a proper displayed front plate.
Oh,
You have 10% of the of stops related to a pretty significant charge. I mean, I think it's a pretty good investigative tool at that point in time. I mean, that's, you know, some of the stuff that you were able to take off the highway is, to me, impressive, but to some of the
what
people
about
probably
the
wouldn't
vehicles
be.
that we hear, there's no plate placed for the front plate? Teslas and Senator Mouse is not on, but he has a stable of Corvettes.
Yes.
And I think he's quite loath to drill a hole in them.
It's
So,
supposed to be when you order them, they're supposed to automatically come with a bracket to put a front plate on per Vermont when, you know, when you order a new vehicle. They're supposed to, and I can imagine that the Corvette probably does have it's just some people would choose not to have it on.
no, I don't happen to have a Corvette or a Tesla.
Maybe they're-
I don't either, but I am
And I do have an
aware.
old car with both license plates.
Does, what's her name, Betsy?
Elizabeth.
What, does she have 2 pulse plates?
She has 2 plates and it's 392.
I am aware that there's a lot of car enthusiasts that have their sports cars and various cars that don't come.
Probably not the high risk population.
There is the request, when you purchase a new car, there is a part of the request of, oftentimes dealers will say as an add-in, like floor mats and mud flaps in the front license plate bracket is part of that. But there is a requirement to have the plate mounted, which would require the drilling and attachment of the front license plate bracket, yes.
And for my, the constituents that I've talked to that are interested in like the bike ped kind of folks, they feel like it's an important way to identify the vehicle that they're concerned about. That usually it's a car coming at you and not a car leaving.
I'm a cyclist myself, so I've utilized both at what in my personal time cycling of an approaching vehicle. Some of it's by habit, of just what my nature of my job is, but also vehicles passing by me and revving their engine or rolling coal or whatever they may do, and I identify the plate then. So the front and rear plate is a benefit to identifying the vehicle readily and quickly.
Appreciate this conversation, but I'm now disinclined to support getting rid of the front plate requirement because I know we got to step with our neighbors and it does have law enforcement utility.
Right.
Oh, do we have a bill?
No, just we had some emails and discussion. We have time them on our agenda
I see.
since we didn't have the benefit that you had from yesteryear of hearing law enforcement's view on it. I thought we'd have.
I see.
Well, I'm interested to see what my sheriff thinks.
Yeah. Any other questions for Lieutenant Brown?
Thank you for your testimony.
Yeah, my
Yeah,
pleasure.
thank you.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
You can go back and see how many cars don't have a front license plate.
Sheriff Harlow.
Hi, good morning, everybody.
How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Good.
Sorry, did you want to ask me a question? Did you want me to state what the sheriff's?
No, yeah, just introduce yourself for the record and let us know your opinion on, front license plates. Should we keep them? Should we get rid of them?
Are they valuable to you, not valuable to you?
Okay, thank you, sir. My name is Jennifer Harlow, I'm Sheriff of Orleans County, and the Vermont Sheriff's Association, would like you not to get rid of the 2 plates, many from the same reasons that you just heard from the testimony from I believe it was Lieutenant. Also especially where we live, all the surrounding states have the second plate, but, in Vermont, because of our inclement weather, snow, mud, bike racks, ski racks, utility racks, things like that is often covering the back plate or inhibiting us a clear view of that as well. So it is a good investigative tool. Also, if we have, be on the lookout for, a possible missing person or a child, anything like that, it's really important to see that front plate, especially if it's going in an opposite direction. Again, many of the things that was already testified about, but we are certainly not in support of getting rid of that. Also, there was an idea thrown around that if, for sports cars, if somebody didn't want to have a front plate, maybe there could be a permit process that they could apply for with a minimal, payment or something like that to the state, that they could apply for a permit that they would not have to have a front plate, depending on, what kind of vehicle they had. If it was a sports car and they didn't want to drill or have that bracket put on, just an idea.
All right, thank you. Yeah, we just wanted to make sure, I think often we hear from the state police, but there are other law enforcement out there, so we just wanted to get a different perspective if there was one. So it sounds like on this issue, there's alignment.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you for your time. Any
Thank you,
questions?
Sheriff.
Any questions for Sheriff Harlow? Okay. Thank you. We'll let you go back to work.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You guys all have a great weekend.
Yeah,
You as well, Sheriff.
Thank goodness it's Friday.
thanks.
Okay.
So we're not gonna
I don't
probably
think we should.
touch that issue,
No.
much to Senator Maz's chagrin.
Well, maybe it'll encourage him to come back quicker.
Yeah. Although he doesn't drive his Corvettes that much, so he probably is yet to run into trouble.
So we are adjourned now?
I think we don't have anything else unless people
So
have
we should
anything.
go offline?
Yeah, we can adjourn for the day.
Just say that sheriff real quick was very compelling with the mud on the back and being
Yeah.
our neighbors do it, our region, I think it makes sense.
I think the biggest thing is what it is she brought it up, and I noticed it the other day.